Everyone, is Keegan from the True Reds, joined by Varun.
What's up?
Welcome to the review of the Tottenham versus Manchester United FA Cup semi-final. As you guys know, we usually do league games, but we're switching up a bit because this is a huge game. We won 2-1. I'm very happy that we're into the final. We're going to be playing Chelsea. But to kick it off, Varun, what did you think about the performance?
I think it was great to see our man, our signing of the year, Sanchez. What am I kidding? It was a okay header. It was really good work by Pogba, muscling Dembele off the ball, crossing it in. And then I think, other than that, the performances, I would say it was an okay game. I think we started off the game pretty well, and then we kind of just went off kilter. Like between the 10th minute and after Spurs scored, it just was chance after chance for them, and I was really disappointed with how we responded to their goal until obviously we scored. And so I was really happy because normally against Spurs, like based on the Premier League game we played against them, we really struggled out here at Wembley. But this time we played well, and I'm very happy against with our performances against these big teams recently. It seems like if you look back at it, we've beaten Chelsea, we've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten City, we've beaten Spurs, and this is all within like a month and a half. I'm honestly really impressed with Mourinho with what he's done. It's just the small teams I think we have to work on, and hopefully after the summer, whether he's here or not, the club will be able to deal with those issues, because I think these small teams are the games we're really suffering with. Because I think I tried to look at this as a bigger picture. I think it's really interesting that we've actually played so well against these bigger teams. But moving on back to the game, against Spurs, I think the man of the match for me, and until he signs a contract, he should be on critical watch right now, is Ander Herrera. I think he was amazing, and obviously you know his goal. And I think for me, yeah, he's the man of the match of the game.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought he played really well as well. He really held the midfield down. Between him and Sanchez, they were both really well. Really well. They were both really good in the game. Talking about, you touched on it a bit, his contract. Do you think he deserves the extension? Because last season he was voted Player of the Season. He's toned it down a bit. The midfield three of him, Matic, and Pogba didn't really work as we thought it would have. I personally think he deserves a new contract because I love his tenacity in the midfield, and I love how he is. Honestly, he's kind of like our Roy Keane. He goes into every tackle aggressively, and I just love the passion he shows. And you can see it when he scored the goal. He was holding the badge, kissing it, and it was amazing to see. Do you think he deserves to get a new contract?
Was he a player of the season last year? I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was either fans player of the season or player of the season. He won one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. That just shows, I think, the fan appreciation. I think every fan of United, I'm pretty sure, would want him to get a new contract. I think he had that first season under Mourinho, I think, or was it the year before? One of those years recently, out of the last 2 years, a really bad year, to be honest. I think it might have been Van Gaal's last season. He really went off kilter. Like I thought he was on projection to be something really good, like not a world class, but like below that tier. But I think he digressed that year. But recently he's come back in the team, and he's doing very well, and he's kind of forced Mourinho into playing this 4-3-3 system because of his performances. And it's been really important, and we've seen the uptick in performances against these bigger teams with this 4-3-3. And I think this is what Mourinho kind of tried to do at the start of the season. Didn't really work. But I think that just shows what an important piece he is. And unless we have someone in mind who can play that role, become our Herrera, become better than who Herrera is right now, I think we have to keep him. We have to offer a contract because I think he's going to have a lot of suitors, especially in Spain, where he came from initially. I think there's a lot of players, a lot of teams that could use him everywhere in the world, but I think there especially he'll be in high demand. So I hope we get him signed up, because even if he's not a starter, I think he's a very, very good backup option or bench player for sure.
Yeah, well, obviously Andres Iniesta has retired, and I heard a little bit of rumors about Barcelona being in for him. But it's interesting you talked about us getting someone to replace Herrera's role. Me, myself, I'm kind of confused. What is Herrera's role? Because he's not box to box. He's not a holding midfielder. He's not a halfback. What is he? What do you think he is? Because a lot of United fans are a bit confused. We know Matic is a holding midfielder. You can say Pogba's a bit box to box, but we don't know what Herrera is. And do you think that's the issue, that maybe the club might not re-sign him, or?
No, I don't think that's an issue. I think he's a real manager's player. I think he does what his manager tells him to do. I think he's very tenacious. I think you have that. I think he's kind of like a ball winning midfielder who's actually quite creative, and I think you need something like that because I think Pogba in many games this year, and we've seen like for example against West Brom and like Newcastle, the other game we lost over the last few months, like because we don't lose many games and like don't not score, but those games we could see Pogba wasn't doing anything. I think a player like Herrera is perfect to have to bring on for Pogba. I think Mourinho needs to start to take off these players who are high in stature, like how he did Ibrahimovic last year. He just kept him on no matter what. But I think he's changing that. He's taking Pogba off now when he has a yellow card or when he's not performing really like up to standard. So I don't think the issue is Herrera's position or role. I think he does what the manager wants him to. And I think he plays his same creative style of play and very tenacious style of play no matter where he plays, defensive mid or midfielder or pushing up even more. But yeah, like I said, I think that we might be in for someone. I've heard of Milinkovic-Savic being someone touted. Sorry?
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you, Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, he's being touted as coming here. He seems an okay signing. I wouldn't mind. I think this kind of role is very important for a team, especially with someone like Pogba, where you have this creative force who's coming back a bit too much for my liking. Because I don't think he's an amazing defensive player. I think he's okay and his height helps him a lot, but I don't think he's that good defensively. And so I think it's really important that we just let Pogba go, let him play, let him play right behind the striker, like how we saw against City. He scored those 2 goals. I know like they're both headers and one was from a set piece, but you could just see like he's much more confident with that freedom. And I think we need to bring a player in that we're confident to play behind him. I don't think Matic is that, and I don't think Herrera is that right now. Maybe he can be molded in some sort of variation of that kind of player. But yeah, I think we need to bring in someone.
The thing is, though, wouldn't you say we lose Herrera, okay? That means he's going to be gone. Fellaini's going to be gone, most likely. Carrick is gone. That's 3 midfielders. You're going to need to replace them with 3 like-for-like midfielders. Why don't they sign Herrera and sign 2 midfielders that way? I mean...
You're not fighting with me. I think that's a perfect situation. Personally,
honestly, Andreas Pereira, who should be at the club, is probably going to be gone as well. We don't know about Fosu Mensah.
No, I actually heard recently in an interview he said that he left. I don't think he has any intention of leaving United. I think he said recently in an interview. I think just in the last few days. So I think he will be coming back, and if Mourinho treats him with or gives him a starting role, I think he'll stay.
Okay.
I think he'd be a good player. Wow. You sounded really happy there. I think, he's a good player we could have. I think we saw him on the tour. I know he only played a couple games, but I thought he really played well in that midfield. And I don't even think that's his position. I think he's more of an attacking player, but if we could mold him into something like an Iniesta or a more defensive player like a Fabregas, not defensive, more subdued player, as in like position-wise, I think Pereira will be great to have there as rotation. Maybe bring in 1 or 2 more, I agree with you, because I'm not sure about Fellaini. Fellaini right now is not really clear what his situation is. Carrick, we know, is going. Blind, I know he doesn't play there anymore, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone this summer as well. I think there's going to be a big overhaul, and I think we're going to see quite a few transfers. No, maybe not the marquee signings, but I think we're going to see a lot of transfers within the squad, and I think that's what we really needed for the last few years. I think we still have those oldish players who I can see like going off, and I think Carrick's one of the first ones. I think we're going to have to get players for positions. I don't think we can get these players who we just think are like really good, like getting someone like a Griezmann or something. Like unless he's going to play behind the striker in that 10 position, I don't see the reason of getting him to play like on the wings. I think we need to buy players for the positions we need. I don't think we should do something like a Sanchez where we just buy a player because he's available, because he's great. Because I think that's not good for the team. I think it's ruining people's development, like Martial and Rashford, like Luke Shaw. I think these kind of young players, they need to know that they have a place in the squad. And Pereira, of course.
Right now, because what you said makes sense, because we normally make 1 marquee signing, but you could argue that because Sanchez was our marquee signing in January, maybe they're not looking to make another marquee signing and maybe just get 4 or 5 role players. I don't know. But that was a long topic talking about Herrera and the transfers. But just to wrap it up before we conclude, do you think we will win the FA Cup against Chelsea? Honest opinion.
Sorry, go on.
Honest opinion. Do you think as well, and answer this after yes or no, If we lose the FA Cup, is this an unsuccessful season?
I'd say no, personally.
No. Okay. Well, for me, I think we will win the FA Cup. However, in my opinion, if we lose it, it's an unsuccessful season. Unsuccessful season, just because of the way we got knocked out of the Champions League. I think if we got knocked out by a Barcelona or Real Madrid, okay, fine, but we got knocked out by Sevilla, and we've seen it. It hurts to see what Liverpool's doing in the Champions League, and that could have been us. But
Yeah, but I kind of also say the reason I wouldn't say it's unsuccessful because I think we have made progress. I think well, I'm really dark. Sorry, we have made progress as a team, and I think it's very easy to see that like we are scoring. I think more goals, and we're getting more goals from around the field. It's not just Ibrahimovic. It's not just like one or two players. We are getting a good spread of goals, and I think it's really important for the team and its like sustainability over the next few years. And so I hope, and I think that we've identified an issue is there's some games where the team just doesn't come out to play. They just don't perform. You had that Sevilla game at home. I think away we got what we wanted. We want the 0-0. But then when we came home, I think that was clear that the guys weren't up for it that day. And then you had the West Brom game. You had the Newcastle game. You have these games where you think for sure this is an easy win. We're playing a team that's worse than us. But then we don't perform. I think those are issues that Mourinho can see and like work on the entire year, summer. And I hope if it is Mourinho or someone else, someone can identify the issues with that and really try and fix that. And that's why I don't think that's it this season, even if we lose the FA Cup, which I don't expect us to. I don't think this will be an unsuccessful season. We'll finish second. We'll have a cup run, and hopefully a win. And I think based on last season, finishing sixth in the Premier League, I'm happy with the second place finish, to be honest.
okay, fair enough. That's it for the video, the FA Cup semi-final review. We're into the final. I'm very happy. Hopefully we can go on to win it. Off the top of my head, I don't know when the final is, but I'm looking forward to that. Any last words, Varun?
Presumably it's after the season, but no, hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, it's after the season, but we don't know the exact date. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Peace.